So I'm humbled and grateful to the millions and millions of Californians that exercise their fundamental right to vote and express themselves so overwhelmingly by rejecting the division.
Gavin Newsom will remain the governor of California after defeating the recall effort against him. Good morning. I'm Stella Escobedo.
I'm Eric Connor. Glad you're with us here. The race was called in Newsom's favor just before 9 o'clock last night. And here is a look at the latest numbers. 64% of the voters voted no on the recall. As for the top replacement candidates, Larry Elder led the field with 47%. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer was in third with 9% of the vote.
Our team of reporters staying on top of the reaction as well as what is next. News 8's Allison Royal has reaction from Governor Newsom and Larry Elder.
Chris Groh has a closer look at how two of the local candidates are responding to all this. But we start this morning with Allison. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So, Governor Gavin Newsom is projected to keep his job in office, and this comes after the recall vote. Right now, we're thinking, gosh, it's going to take days, right? That's what I thought it was initially going to take to get those results. But no, we had those results just before 9 o'clock last night, showing him as the projected winner, getting to keep his job. This is what Newsom had to say.
I'm humbled and grateful to the millions and millions of Californians that exercise their fundamental right to vote.
So voter turnout here in San Diego County was expected to be between 60 to 70%. That is according to interim registrar of voters Cynthia Paz. It's what she was projecting. We aren't going to know what those final numbers are until all the ballots are in. Speaking of which, those mail-in ballots must be postmarked by Election Day, which was yesterday. And then San Diego County has until October 14th to go ahead and certify those results to the Secretary of State, along with the other 57 counties in California. Now, this was California's first recall election since 2003. Governor Gavin Newsom said that he wants to give people a little bit of a breather before we jump into 2022 campaigning. But of course, there were many viable candidates in this field, and one of the most talked about ones was Republican candidate Larry Elder.
As a former radio host, let me just say this. Stay tuned. God bless you. May God bless California. We got a state to say. God bless you all. This is only the beginning. You know that.
And for the latest election results, you can always count on our website, which is cbs8.com. We're going to have the latest numbers as those keep rolling in. And we also have a free app if you're interested in staying up to date with the latest election results. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you, to Eric and Stella.
Also, thank you. We are also hearing from two of the candidates with local connections.
Yeah, that includes former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer as well as Rancho Santa Fe businessman John Cox. News 8's Chris Groh is live at Liberty Station with their messages to voters. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. And look, it was a tough night for both men. In fact, we heard from both of them, but we know that former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer didn't take any questions. However, he did provide a little bit of insight into what he does plan on doing next. Take a listen.
As for what's next for myself, I'm going to take the time to talk not only to my family, but my supporters and figure out the best steps here in the coming weeks to continue to be a fighter, to continue to serve our great state. Because California is worth fighting for, don't you think, guys?
And so you could hear there, it doesn't sound like Kevin Faulconer is done running for public office. But with specifically this recall election, let's run through the numbers here of where these candidates stand. A grim picture here. Statewide, Larry Elder by far the #1 choice amongst the candidates vying for Governor Gavin Newsom's job. While the recall effort failed, Faulconer says he did enjoy campaigning across the state to meet Californians and listen to their concerns. Now, we don't know exactly what position he may run for again, but it does sound, based on those comments, that he will be plotting it out very soon. As for Rancho Santa Fe businessman John Cox, this is another failed attempt at trying to become governor. Remember, he initially ran against Governor Newsom and lost. In the recall, he finished with less than 5% of the vote statewide. But despite all that, he didn't say he was done running for the job in the future. In fact, he hinted that he could again run for governor in the general election.
What the Republican Party needs to do is focus on the quality of life issues that I've talked about in this race. Making sure that we can build housing at an affordable price, making sure that we fix homelessness by getting people treated, making sure that we have enough water and electricity.
And one of the interesting things about Faulconer's campaign in their comments yesterday is that they said that they believe that Governor Gavin Newsom was very successful in making this a two-man race, not necessarily a yes or no question, essentially that Governor Newsom started to pit himself up against conservative talk show host Larry Elder, and then that's why they were successful in getting that no vote, but then also that's why we saw essentially such a large gap between those candidates vying for the job. Again, that according to the Faulconer campaign. When you do look at the local numbers here in San Diego County, the picture's a little bit better for the former mayor. He polled at about 16%, so he got about less than 16% of the votes here in his former area. And then for Rancho Santa Fe businessman John Cox, not exactly much better. Again, still taking in less than 5% of the votes. Eric and Stella.